The preeminent metal band of the early to mid-90s, PanterA put to rest any and all remnants of the 80s metal scene almost single-handedly, demolishing any notion that hair metal, speed metal, power metal, and any of the others were anything but passé. Loath to admit it, the Texas band had in fact been one of those 80 metal bands, releasing fairly unsuccessful and later disowned glam-inspired music throughout much of the decade. The about-face came with the addition of vocalist Phil Anselmo, and the key turning point was the band's major label debut, Cowboys from Hell, in 1990. PanterA's mainstream breakthrough came next with Vulgar Display of Power in 1992, their second major label album, which thrust the band to the forefront of the metal scene alongside such veteran bands as Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax, as well as fellow up-and-comers Sepultura and White Zombie. By the time PanterA unleashed Far Beyond Driven in 1994, after 2 long years of touring, they were the most popular metal band in the world. The new album debuted atop the Billboard Top 200 as its lead single, I'm Broken, was getting massive airplay. At the height of their popularity and influence, PanterA began to self-destruct. Less than 2 months after the release of The Great Southern Trendkill in 1996, an album ridden with allusions to drug abuse and personal destruction, Anselmo overdosed on heroin after a homecoming concert in Texas, and as tensions rose between him and his fellow bandmates, he began engaging in a growling list of side projects that kept him away from PanterA. A live album, Official Live 101 Proof in 1997, was compiled for release when it became evident that no new studio album was forthcoming anytime soon. One final studio album did result, Reinventing the Steel in 2000, but that was more or less it for the briefly reunited PanterA. The band members once again went their separate ways, forming such bands as Damage Plan, Down, and Superjoint Ritual. The end of PanterA then became official on December 8, 2004, when guitarist Dimebag Darrell was murdered on stage by a deranged fan. This much publicized murder shone the spotlight back on PanterA for an extended moment, and amid all the emotional outpouring and tributes, a consensus arose, in retrospect, that there was no greater metal band during the early to mid-90s than PanterA, who inspired a legion of rabid fans and whose oft-termed groove metal and style bucked all prevailing trends of the day. From hair metal and grunge to nu metal and rap metal, and remains singular to this day, is defined by the vocals of Anselmo, as it is by the guitar of Dimebag. I don't care where they were playing. If you were there, then you know when PanterA took the stage, they commanded your attention, demanded your respect, and ordered you to have a great time. You can get your pull on that. There was nothing else quite like them. They were game changers, invented metal all over again. For those like me, PanterA changed your life, the way you listened to metal, and what you expected the bands to follow, to be influenced by and sound like, and many, many were and still are. On December 8, 2004, tragedy happened, and anyone who is a fan will never forget where they were when they heard the news Dimebag Darrell and others were murdered on stage. I'll tell you, it was the most devastating news I have ever heard. It was heartbreaking. If you can, try to find some bittersweet comfort in the fact that Dime died on stage, doing what he loved, surrounded by people who loved him. Okay, I guess. Then on June 22nd, 2018, tragedy struck all over again with the loss of Vinnie Paul. I miss the Abbott brothers. I miss PanterA. Thank the powers that be. Music is forever. Thank you for watching.